Hello, my name is Deborah Richards and I am the founder and managing partner of Maddisons Residential. So I've recorded a series of these vlogs for the wonderful MyTunbridgeWells, and this month I want to look at my belief on the importance of preparing your property for sale. So one of the things when I set up Maddisons, so before I set up Maddisons, as those of you who've seen this before, I had a career in banking, but I used to renovate properties off the side of the desk, sell them for a profit, done quite a few. And one of the things that drove me mad was I never felt I got proactive advice from an agent. So it's something I'm really passionate about. Most people, when they sell their property, they want to get as much as they possibly can. They might be driven by need. They need to sell because there's been a divorce or a death or a debt to repay, the dreaded Ds as we call them. But generally, even if that is the case, they want to get as much as they possibly can. And for me, maximising the value of your property is really quite easy to do. There are simple things that you can do to mean that you get as much as you possibly can from your property. So I'm going to introduce you now to two wonderful people that we often work with. One of them, the first one, Lisa, she's actually employed by me at Maddisons because I am so passionate about making sure your property is presented to its best possible light. So Lisa is part of the service we provide. When you're thinking of going to market, if we feel you need it, don't do it on all our properties because a lot of them are already gorgeous when we get there. But if we feel you could do with a little bit of extra help and guidance, then Lisa comes around and gives some thoughts prior to the photo shoot and then also on the day of the photo shoot as well. So here's a little snip of Lisa in action in one of our recent properties, giving you some ideas on what she looks at when she's going around to do that, getting it ready for the photos and viewing stage.
Good morning, I'm Lisa from Maddisons at this beautiful property in Groombridge. So my role at Maddisons is to come, whether it's anything from giving you paint advice to how to lay out your furniture, make a room work harder, or just finessing points to get everything ready for the photos on the big day. If we go for a tall plant, then you need like a medium and a small. When you do three plants together, they should be different heights, different widths and different textures. That wall, if we put a mirror there, it would jump back the wall because that's quite a narrow corridor. So if you put pictures, it goes like that, smaller. If you put mirrors, it goes like that, it goes bigger. Adult zone. In there you can shut the door on the toys, and through there you have your family movies, you're cooking together. That's the family room. So you've got actually the three very distinct rooms, and let's just give them that singular purpose. So I've just been inside this beautiful property with our vendors, and actually here today they have done a lot of the finessing already. They've painted the walls, they've put furniture in the right place. So today we were looking at the finer details, whether it's paintings on the wall, mirrors, how to just soften up the space with cushions and get it ready. And again, I'm always on hand if you want me to also come back again the day of the photography a few hours before, just to zhuzh and make sure.
So some of the key things you saw Lisa talk about there is making sure that you bounce light around and make sure the rooms feel as big as possible. Make sure each room has a really clearly defined purpose. You want buyers to come in and really understand what each area is used for and not feel that your house doesn't have enough space to meet all those different needs. Removing clutter, making sure that it's as free as possible so you can see the space on offer and not let a buyer get distracted by your stuff and bits and pieces. Other things to do, don't make it too personal. Photos are great, but not too many of them. Take off a big family portrait from the wall and maybe put some nice sort of generic art on there instead, or a mirror. So try not to let it be too personal. And if you've got anything that's just too personal in terms of your own taste or style, unless that is really bang on trend for what current buyers are looking for, and that's a real misconception actually. I think a lot of people think that buyers want quite bland, and they don't. They like a property to really shine. We've got some cracking prices on properties when they were just presented gooily gorgeous, on trend, right now, really appealing to, for example, the London buyer, if that's who we're trying to attract, or a family, whoever it might be. So not bland, but don't do anything that isn't really on trend at the moment and that is how you like it. That's really not going to work. You need to neutralise it and inject a bit of style in line with what current fashions are doing. Go to developers' properties. The show home is always a great example. They know what buyers are looking for at that point in time and present great. But what if I go to a property that I'm getting ready to sell and I think it needs a bit more help? Now that could be because it's a new build and it's completely empty. and buyers need help to visualise how they'll use the space. That could be it's empty because the current owners have moved out. Or it could be that it just needs an awful lot of sorting out, defining, neutralising, injecting style, far more than Lisa can give. Well, in that instance, I often work with the wonderful Caroline Pickering of Style My Home. I've worked with her for years. We have got an almost 100% success rate of selling properties that other agents have not been able to sell. We take them on. Instead of recommending a price drop, I get Caroline involved and we get really great results. Apart from one, there's only one that's got away from me in the last 10 years. I don't think I was given long enough on that. 3 months. Tough market. Anyway, let's listen to what Caroline's got to say, her top tips on staging some properties for sale. And while she's talking, I'm going to show you some examples of her fabulous work.
Hi, my name's Caroline Pickering and my company is Style My Home. We've worked in staging for several years now, staging homes to sell mainly, although we can stage homes if you just want to stay and you want some help with refreshing a room. Staging is a great transformation usually. We do everything from empty properties, so we do quite a lot of work for people who are maybe having elderly family moving out of a house. It's very dated, it might be partly furnished. We then go in, we can update it, we take down dated window treatments, possibly decorate a little bit and refurnish it. So we rent our furniture, we have a stock of furniture and we rent that to you for a period of 3 months, which hopefully is long enough for people to come and view your property, and within that 3 month span we would hope you'd get an exchange of contracts. Staging property is all about creating a lifestyle to your buyers. We obviously look at the demographic of the property, but generally it has to appeal to many. It could be a young family looking at a family home. It could be someone downsizing from a large house to a smaller house or even an apartment. We do all sorts of properties. We're very lucky in Kent and Sussex that we've got such a great range of architecture. Staging can increase the value of your property by up to 10%, and we have seen that happen. Staging doesn't have to cost thousands. If we're furnishing a whole house, it's a lot of work. It is like moving into a house. We bring all of our furniture and accessories, we have pictures put on the wall, we move it in as if someone was living there. But obviously if you're living in your house and you want to make it look more presentable, it's not going to cost you thousands necessarily. So we come in, we look at your property, we see all the features you've maybe got complacent about and you don't really realise. And those are the things we need to make shine so that people come in and they really want your property because they love your fireplace or the views or your great kitchen that you've created, a space for living. But we need to stage it, we need to zone it, we need to make sure people are understanding what they can do with that space. And we do quite a lot of new builds where they've created a massive space for kitchen living, but it's quite daunting for people if there's no furniture in it. So it really does make your property shine, makes people realise how they can utilise the space. Even bedrooms without a bed in, people will go away and imagine it wasn't big enough for a double bedroom. I've done so many houses where we've gone in and thought, oh, you know, not very big, the bedrooms are small. Once you put a bed and some bedsides in, it really comes to life. Same with sitting rooms, and also studies are incredibly key at the moment. So if we can get a study area into a living space, even in a 1-bedroom flat, we manage to try and do that because it's really important to the buyer to know they can have a working space at home.
So some of those properties that you saw there, they were either empty and they had to be staged, they needed to be rejigged, redefined, clutter removed, lots of different things that we have to do there with Caroline. But as I say, great results for everything. We've got some wonderful success rates. So I am passionate about the importance of staging your property for sale. I hope you found that of interest. I love it if someone says to me, Deborah, can you come round and speak to me on my property? I don't want to sell for about 3 months. I want you to tell me everything I need to do to get it ready for sale. Now, sometimes that might be, I say, do nothing. If your property will appeal to a project vision buyer, don't waste your time. They want to see it in its rawness as an honest, truthful house that hasn't been glossed up. And they're not interested in if you change the carpets, change the walls, I'll see through all of that. But if you're trying to appeal to that buyer who wants to buy into your end vision, either because they don't have the time, the inclination, the energy, the vision themselves, see how it could be, then presenting it right is absolutely key. So get me round. I love to give advice. As you can see, I've got some really great resource within my team, and it's something that I feel every seller should do perfectly before they go to market if theirs is the right one to be staged. I hope you found that of use. Bye-bye.